What's up everybody, and welcome to the third episode of MSF Weekly. And yes, it's Sunday again and we're in the unit. But it's because we're busy, we gotta get work done. And the work we're at is still the truck. So where are we at? We are still prepping all the steel on the body of the truck for paint. We have the majority of it cleaned off. I have, I'd say, another day's work ahead of me prepping everything, and then finally we're on to painting it and then putting it all back together to return it to the customer. Now the plan for today is obviously number one, clean all the paint off. Then number two, which is really bugging me at the moment, is to clean up the workshop before we start painting, because there's literally dust everywhere. And if you know me, you know I like to have a clean workshop. So I think coming in the future, I'm going to have to do something about this, because I really want to keep this part of the unit the clean side, where you know I can work on car mechanics or take cars apart, clean cars, detail cars, do all the fun stuff. So I need to try and come up with a solution to do all the dirty works, such as sandblasting, cleaning paint and painting somewhere else. So I may have an option for this soon, but just not at the moment. So really I just have to bear with it, keep going, get the work done, keep making some money, and yes, keep cleaning the workshop, keep it as best as I can until that option comes available to me, which I'm hoping will be in the next month, 2 months, we'll see. So anyway, let's just get stuck right into this and get this done. Okay guys, and we are finally ready for paint. That was another long day. It's 7:30 now on Sunday evening. So I have just cleaned up the unit. It needed a really good clean. So the plan is to let the dust settle in the unit, because I won't start painting until obviously it's clear in here. So I was going to come back this evening after an hour or two and do the primer then, but we'll see. I'm going to go home, have the dinner first and make a plan then. I still have a bit of editing to do to put out the next video, which will be tomorrow, Monday. So yeah, I'm going to go home now and we'll see then. What's up viewers? So it's actually now Tuesday. I didn't really record yesterday because I was just so busy and I wanted to get the primer on, which I have, as you can see behind me. So all of the truck body is now primered, along with the mud guards and the bumpers, which I'll show you in a second. Then also yesterday I went and picked up a new sandblaster. So this sandblaster is way bigger than the one that I have. It's a lot more powerful. So I have it on trial, and if I'm happy with it, I'm going to buy it. And it's also ran off a bigger diesel compressor, which I have outside the door here. So it's going to make jobs in the future a lot easier. It won't take as long to clean paint off metal or rust, etc. So it should hopefully be a good investment for my company going forward. And you need it to do this type of work. So looking forward to giving it a blast tomorrow when we get time. But yeah, so this is the truck anyway. All the primers on the back of it. Even with the primer on it alone, having a single colour on it makes it look way neater and tidier. So this is all of the driver's side. It's ready for paint. This is the passenger side. It's looking good. I'm very happy with how it came out. So these are the side steps. They came up really well, very happy with them. And here we have the mud guards. So I'm very happy with them. And front bumper, the two-piece front bumper parts, they come up very well too. So yeah, all in all, I'm very happy with how it came out so far. Today we're going to lay the red paint. Now I'm going to spend the next few minutes just preparing for that. I will record some of it, but I don't want to keep my camera gear set up too close to the paint because I don't want to get destroyed. But yeah, I'll keep updating you as the day is going on. And then when all of this is painted, we're going to let it cure overnight, obviously. And then we have to put it all back together, but we'll see what the paint is like tomorrow. We might leave it for an extra day just to let it harden and cure properly. But we also have another lorry to start working on straight away tomorrow. So yeah, a lot of work on, a lot to do. Just have to keep going. And also not forgetting the Integra that's here behind me covered up. I'm not forgetting this YouTube channel was primarily set up for car builds, but I've also decided to include the running of my business and everything else that goes along with that. So I do want to get back to the car stuff because that's what I love doing and that's what I'm trying to push to be doing all of the time, but it will take time to get there. And we do want to get some more car projects going as well. So we just keep going and see how it goes. I do have an update on the engine of the Integra as well. It is pretty much done now. I need to send up the rocker cover and the sump so he can seal it. And I will be working on the Integra soon. So in that video, I'm going to include the full spec of what's being done to the engine.
Just like we're ready.
Okay everybody, the red paint is finally completely laid. It took quite a few hours to spray it, but it's all done now and I'm very happy with the results. The truck is looking a million times better, and you know what, I'm getting kind of excited to share the finished product with everybody. So now I'm going to show you a few shots of it all, and then I have to spray the white paint on the cab, and that's the painting completely finished.
Just like we're ready.
Right guys, now I started spraying the white paint on the cab, which is looking pretty good. So in between the coats, I've been putting the sheeting on the inside of the lorry, just with tech screws and rivets. So you can see behind me I have both the top and middle layer on. I still have the ones on the roof to go on yet, which we'll be doing tomorrow morning. I just need to put on the mud guards and bumpers tomorrow and the tail lights. But aside from that, this truck is nearly ready to go. So I'm going to give the cab one more spray of the white paint and then let that dry overnight and come back in tomorrow and get this wrapped up. Now I want to talk as well about the products that I've been using. Now the primer I used is an epoxy primer, and it was mixed with an activator and a small bit of thinners. So that's what I used on the truck frame and the cab. And the red is a 2-pack paint, which was mixed with a hardener and 2-pack thinners as well. And also the primer chosen was suitable for 2-pack paint as well. So it's a pretty durable paint, especially what it's being used for. It kind of needs to be. But yeah, it's all looking great. Now that's all the paint on, so it's about 7 o'clock on Wednesday evening and time for me to clock out and go home. So we'll pick up on this again tomorrow. Okay guys, so it's mid-afternoon on Thursday and I can officially say the truck is pretty much back together. So I'll take you for a walk around it, talk about everything that we've done to it, and you can see it for yourselves. Okay, so let's start at the front, and don't mind the workshop at the moment because it's a bit messy. So I removed both of the front bumpers and side steps and mudguards, primed them and painted them in 2-pack red paint. And then on the cab I cut out all the rust in this lower area, put in new plates and welded it up, primed it and painted it white. And then if we walk around the other side, I done the very same thing, cut out the rust, put in the new steel, welded it, primed it and painted. Still have these plates to go back on. So the side steps and bumpers are fixed into place now. Then on the truck body, I removed the old side rail and replaced it with new box iron, welded that in place. And then in front of the battery, well, you can see you also got a new battery box. So then in front of the battery I made this gate so that you can get access to the battery. It just looks better, so the side rails aren't finished here. They're actually finished at the front of the truck, the same as the other side. So they were welded in. I also put in this new plate at the front of the mudguard because it was rusted through there. And then let's go around the other side again. So then on this side, I done the same thing. Removed the old side rail, put in new box iron, welded in place, replaced the front of the mudguard. Okay. Let's start going around to the back of it now. So for the rest of the truck, you've seen that I removed the middle and top sheeting, and then everything was primed and painted with red 2-pack paint. So you can see now that I have all the sheeting back on. I still have a few techs left to put in for the very top sheet, just to hold everything down in place. But if we lift this, you will see that I have the lights back in place. And yeah, everything's looking pretty good. I still have to cut the ends off these techs and then paint over them. But just little jobs now to finish it off. I want to give the lorry a wash because there's a lot of dust on the cab, and I want to clean out the inside of the cab again because it's a bit dusty as well. And I almost forgot, I replaced one cross member and then primed and painted all the cross members and the inside of the frame, and I've done that on both sides as well. So as you've seen in the last couple of videos and this one, a lot of work has went into this truck, but it's pretty much finished. And right behind me is the next one, but I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes when I get this truck finished up and washed. And if you're in Ireland and you need any of this type of work done or car restoration work, don't be afraid to give me a shout. So the plan now is to finish off what I'm at with the truck and then give the unit a well needed tidy up. Alright guys, so it's about 7 o'clock and it's time to wrap it up. So the past few hours I finished up all the jobs on the truck bar 2, which are making new aluminium gates at the very back of the truck inside of it, and also installing 2 work lamps on the back for when he's reversing in the dark so he can see where he's going. So aside from that, all the tech screws in place, everything is bolted down nice and tight. The unit has been cleaned up, no dust on the floor. But also tomorrow here in Ireland we have a red warning for heavy winds. So I've had to bring everything into the unit, leave nothing outside. The cars are in place, the trailer's in. So I probably won't be here until about maybe 12 tomorrow, depending on what the weather is like. But for now, that is all, and we'll either pick this up again tomorrow or Saturday morning, depending on what things are like tomorrow. So yeah, time to go home. Okay guys, so it's Saturday and I'm finally back at the unit, but guess what? Still no power and still no access to the unit. So as most of you know, yesterday we had a red warning with wind up to 180 kilometers across the country, which wiped out most of the power for an awful lot of people. So yesterday was a write-off. I came in today to try and do a bit of work, but that's a no-go because I can't get into my unit. So I don't know, I think I'll probably have to end this video here today. But before we do that, I'll quickly show you the next job that we're working on, which is this hot box behind me. So we're going to be sandblasting and painting all of the frame along with the hot box area. This is all going to be painted yellow. Also on this side we have some rust repairs to do on it, up here and down here. So a good bit of work to do on this one and not a lot of time to do it. So we should really be starting work on this truck on Monday. But you know what, I'm going to hold out now until tomorrow to finish off this video, because I really want to end it with the finished product of the cattle lorry, because it's looking good and we don't really need to carry it into the next video. So tomorrow is Sunday, I'm going to come back here, hopefully there's power, hopefully I'll get the clips that I need, and then we'll finish this video. Okay guys, it's Sunday and I'm back at the unit, and if you look at behind me, we finally have power back. And what a feeling that is, because we've been out without power for a few days, which here in Ireland we're not really used to. So we've power back at home and obviously here at my workplace, and this is completely down to all the ESB crew out working relentlessly to fix all the broken cables and put up new poles. So a massive thank you to all of those crews. It really puts into perspective what it's like to have no power, no water, when the force of nature really takes its toll on the things that we take for granted. So I'm going to get the lorry out now, give it a wash and get the clips that I wanted to finish off this video, and then go home, finish editing this video, and then tomorrow it's straight back into working on the truck behind us.